Hi again from the garden. So I am out here early this morning doing a few garden tasks. One of them is weeding. I have quite a few beds that are getting a little out of control with the weeds, and so I'm out here this morning because it's nice and cool, getting caught up on that. Another thing that I am doing is starting to pinch some of my plants. Now, pinching your plants when you're growing cut flowers is really important to increase your flower supply. You don't want to pinch certain type of plants that are one and done, such as your pro-cut sunflowers. Those are single blooming. You do not want to pinch those. Other flowers like most stock, larkspur, all the single flowering flowers like bupleurum, cress as fillers, those are ones that you don't want to pinch. Now, plants such as Celosia, which is this bed right here, Dahlias, Zinnias, those are all come and cut again producers, and so if you pinch those, it's going to tell the plants to branch out and it will create a lot more blooms throughout your season. So today I'm pinching some Celosia, and then I'm going to take you over to my Zinnia bed and show you how I'm going to pinch those, and I have a couple Dahlia plants that I want to go ahead and pinch as well. So you can see I have different sizes of Dahlia plants here. These have been pinched, so they're a little bit shorter. This one is still pretty tall. That one I need to pinch. And a couple of these actually already have blooms on them, so I'm going to zoom in and show you what those look like and how to pinch those too. So these plants are about 12 to 18 inches tall, which is about the perfect height that I like to pinch my plants at. And I'm going to go about a third of the way down. And by pinching these, this is going to send all the energy of the plant into producing new growth and new side branches. So this particular plant, there's actually a little Celosia bloom on top. I want to get rid of him to take the energy down to the rest of the plant. So I'm going to go right about here, and I'm just going to get rid of the top. This is going to go in my compost, and then this plant is going to branch out and get much bigger and create multiple blooms instead of one big thick bloom at the top. So let me zoom in on a couple of these and show you a close-up. Okay, so here you can see a bloom right in the middle. We're going to get rid of that. So I'm going to go down a little below that, cut that off, and now this whole plant will bush out, and all of these little side shoots will grow new blooms, and this bloom I'll put in the compost, and the energy will no longer go into that bloom. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go through these and pinch a bunch of these off. Then I'll take you over to my Zinnia patch and show you how I'm doing those. So here's another one that has a bloom on it and a weed around it. Let's get rid of that. This plant is a little shorter, but I still want to put energy into the bottom of the plant. So I'm going to clip it about here. There, much better. So you can see this is a Celosia plant that I had pinched earlier on. It has 3 definite main branches now to create blooms instead of 1. Okay, so now I am over in my Zinnia patch. I have 4 rows of Zinnias. These were all started from seed inside. The row in front of me is part seed, part direct sown, and then I have 1 row that is all direct sown. And the Zinnias that were all direct seeded, some of those plants actually are almost as tall as the ones I started from seed. So I'm pretty impressed, although I do have a lot of weeding to do in this area. These rows look pretty good. But anyway, what I am doing today with my Zinnias is I'm just going through, and you can see that there's yellow blooms on these. They're only about that tall, so definitely not usable. So I want to go in and cut those off. So I'm going to go in, not at the set of leaves right below them, but the next set of leaves. So I'm going to take this off, and then that is going to encourage the plant to branch out. Now, I have already gone through and pinched all of these plants once. I think actually back when they were in the seed tray. And so all of these plants do have multiple branches already, but I want to keep cutting them because I want my Zinnias to be this tall, not this tall, because then I can use them in bouquets. So I'm just going to go through. And here's a bud here that's going to open. I want to get rid of that too. And then once I actually start getting usable blooms, that are about this height, I'm gonna cut them all the way down, and then that's gonna encourage branching from the bottom, because the lower your branches start growing, the taller they get. And once this all thickens up, it's gonna encourage those blooms to grow higher anyway, because they're reaching for the light. But right now they're so short, they're just blooming way too low. So I'm gonna go through and clip a whole bunch of these off and show you what it looks like. Then I'll show you a couple dahlias that I'm pinching. Now see, this one already has a branch here, 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 and here. So by getting rid of this bloom, the other 7 are gonna branch out, and this plant is gonna be much bushier. And by the way, just to show you how bad my weeds are, this row here is all direct seeded zinnias. Can you even see the zinnias in there? Close up you can. This is totally out of hand. Okay, so I have a couple dahlias that I'm actually going to be putting in pots that I want to go ahead and pinch because they are getting to that height. This is one. Now this isn't as tall as the other one. This one is getting a little taller. Now you can see this one already has 2 main branches, but I'm gonna pinch this right down in the center because it's actually getting a bud on it already, and I would never be able to use that bloom. So I wanna go ahead and pinch that out so that I can increase the number of blooms that I get on this dahlia. And this one is not getting any buds on it yet, but it's got a pretty good little center area there that I bet it'll be getting a bud on it soon. So let me zoom in and show you how I'm gonna cut these. These are annuals that I still need to get in pots. I'm just a little bit behind this year. Oh, but look at this. This is my winter sown larkspur. I opened this up probably about a month ago. I hadn't gotten around to planting it in the landscape yet, but all of these stems are going to be blooming soon. So I thought, why not just leave it in here, cut them all off, and use them in bouquets, and then I'll just put the soil in my garden bed. All right, let me zoom in on these for you. Okay, so this is the shorter plant. This is where I can see a bud forming. So I'm gonna clip it and take this portion out. And then if we turn it around, here's the other branch. This is getting a stalk right out of the center. I'm gonna cut it all the way down here and take this center portion out. Now instead of 1 big stem, it's gonna get 2 big stems on each one, and they'll just keep branching from there. So then this one has a definite large stem coming up, and I can actually see little spots where it wants to branch out. So I'm gonna clip it right here. And then on this side, I'm gonna clip this one all the way down here. And there's a third one. I'm gonna clip right here. All right, now that one is gonna start forming extra branches really soon. Let me show you a couple dahlias I clipped last week. So this is a dahlia that I clipped last week, and look at all of the new growth that has already started on it. These 2 are also dahlias that I clipped last week. You can see very definitely on the plant on the right where I cut it, and then you can see all of the new growth that has already started. It is that fast. Here's another one that has brand new growth from being cut last week. Okay, so that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing how I'm pinching a few early plants in the garden. I will make sure to do another video when I pinch all of my dahlias. I'm going to be staking them using the corralling method and pinching them once they start getting a little taller. So I'll make sure to do a full video on that. But anyway, stay tuned for a lot more cut flower gardening through the whole season. We'll see you soon.